So the first step and the prereq to this, and if I'm going through this journey, is, well, how do I identify all the different nodes within my account? There's a couple ways you can do that. One is going through Q Developer, which can actually, you can ask questions through a natural query and be able to give you a list and output of what is happening within your nodes. You can ask what are a list of my EC2 instances. You can say list all my managed EC2 instances that are Windows. But I kind of want to see my red. I see a little bit of red on my unmanaged EC2 instances. Well, if I want to target all my nodes and not have to kind of go back and see, well, I still have to update some. So I want to understand how I can actually see if any of these EC2s are unmanaged and they're also Windows. So if I go into Unmanaged, we launch this capability, which is diagnose and remediate. Now, previously, customers were having troubles kind of understanding, well, why isn't my agent or why isn't my node registered with Systems Manager, and how can I identify and remediate why it's not registered with Systems Manager? So with this new experience, now you can understand why your EC2 or your nodes are being unmanaged by Systems Manager and diagnose them. So earlier today, I ran a new diagnosis. You can do this on a scheduled time, and it will tell you what is the problem of why it's not being managed by Systems Manager. And it really focuses on those networking configurations, right? There's prereqs to Systems Manager. One is the fact that we need to have the set of permissions, or the SSM agent needs to be on the agent, and then also the network connectivity, right? The agent needs to talk to Systems Manager and vice versa. And that's a big, hurdle that customers need to know about. So when we ran this, it gave us an output of network configuration issues. It found that my 17 nodes have around VPC endpoints are missing, so to be able to communicate. Within this new experience, it has recommendations on how to remediate this. And this is powered through automation runbooks. So those automation runbooks are those automated tasks that Systems Manager is going to perform on your behalf. In this case, we already have a runbook that's already pre-populated, pre-built for you guys to be able to run on those different nodes. Or you can do it manually, right? 17 nodes, I think I can do it, right? It's not that much time. It might take me a couple hours to manually go in and see all the VPC endpoints and get those from unmanaged to managed. But in reality, if we want to be a little more efficient and automate some of those common tasks, then we'll remediate with the runbook itself. Now, I'm not going to run it because we just never know what happens with live demos, right? But in the back end, if we want to understand what is happening, it's really doing a bunch of scripts in the back and trying to remediate. And you can see all those different execution logs all together. So it would look something in this realm. So in here, it will create an output for you in your execution logs to understand what was it doing, what was the node, what was the step, what account happened, and you can go into the step ID and go a little deeper into, okay, well, what were the steps? How did it happen, the execution times? Okay, so that's phase one. My nodes are managed, they're not Windows, and now I need to understand, well, how many of them are Windows? I have 128 plus nodes, or 148 actually. The other experience is going into your operating systems and clicking on the nodes. This two different ones. So I'm looking for Microsoft Windows Server 2019, and I want to update these. And I'm going to click on the different nodes. It's going to take me to another experience where this is going to list out all the different nodes in your account. Now, these are different and operating. Now you're seeing which account they're tied to and which region they're being deployed to. So given the scenario that I am updating or upgrading all the different operating systems for this one specifically, I kind of want to do a report and understand how I can give this to all the different teams that are owners of these nodes and give them a heads up that their node is going to be updated. Well, within Systems Manager now, you can download a report that will give you all that information that you can share with your team in a JSON or CSV file to be able to distribute that and let them know that we're planning this migration into the new updated version. And we want to be a little biased for action and understand what is happening. Cool. I identified what I need to do. Now the part is upgrading them, right? I need to update all, in this case, 26 nodes. I think that's going to be a little bit too much for me, right? That's going to be a lot of tasks. It's going to be a lot. So how are we going to leverage this? I'm pretty sure you guys know what I'm going to say, automation runbooks. So we're going to go see the automation runbooks that we currently have to offer. And how many of you use automation runbooks? Only you two, I know. Thank you, appreciate it. So automation runbooks really help you kind of, and I say runbooks, but depending on the person you ask, it could be documents. And the way our console is also documents. But in this area, we have pre-built and managed over 100+ automation runbooks that we have giving you guys as a way to know what kind of things you need to automate or what are some ideas you can automate based on this, right? This helps customers kind of understand, well, the common question I get is, well, what do I automate and how can I automate? Well, majority of the time we go into the console and we kind of go in here and we search, well, what do you want to automate? You want to do an EBS volume? Majority of the time is that you're already going to find a runbook that's going to meet those needs. So all you have to do is build upon it if you need a little bit more customization or use and leverage that current AWS managed runbook. So in this case, there is a runbook to upgrade Windows. And I favored it because I knew I had to use this one. So in here, it's going to do that process that John was talking about, creating a snapshot, creating that EBS volume, all those different steps. It's going to be doing that for us all together and then doing it in a safe manner. Now, if I go a little lower and give you that visual design of all the different steps you have to take if you wanted to do this in a safely manner, make sure we get that EBS volume. What if there's a rollback? It does this for us. So just looking at that, that's a little intimidating, right? So we are being able to use this runbook to kind of illustrate and do this on our behalf all together. It's very useful, right? This is easier to deploy out into your accounts and be able to use this. Runbooks can be shared across organizations, so you can have specific runbooks that need to be shared out to that organization and, leverage that. Anytime something happens, let's use this runbook. It's in your account, So it's easy to be able to share that all together. Now, if I were to deploy this, it would go into all the different steps within my nodes and update my nodes all together. And then that also gives you an output of what happens, right? Within this runbook, you can also do rate control. So instead of targeting all those 17+ instances or nodes, it's going to give me the chance to say, I only want to target X amount, right? 10%, 5%. If it starts, error rate, I can add that into this runbook to do it in a safely manner. If something were to not meet my compliance needs, I can go and have that automation stop so it doesn't continue to go into all the different nodes as well.